So, talk us through, why do we sleep? Like, what is actually happening in our bodies as we sleep? Because we've talked on this show before about, if humans weren't meant to sleep, we would have stopped doing it years ago. But there is something absolutely critical to our survival as a species, that we sleep. So, tell us what happens when we sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I love this response because pros like Dr. Matthew Walker like to talk about this, right? And they go, it's almost as if we started to evolve when we started sleeping better, right? REM sleep, including that, of course, because as we know, REM sleep is in charge of our ability to critically think, to think creatively. And some of the greatest known artists and composers have woken up in their sleep and written things down or recorded certain songs because it came to them after sleep, right? So we know REM sleep and its importance. And every time I'm asked this question, people always tell me, okay, so how do I get more REM sleep? And it's like, well, it's kind of a full equation on that one. But, we know our bodies in going into different stages of sleep. Now, optimally, you want to be getting at least 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Now, if you're getting less, that goes to that whole sleep deprivation. And the less you get, the higher that stress curve is getting. Anything greater than 9 hours, we have to look at quality and getting the sleep that we actually need. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, about upper respiratory resistance with snoring, sleep apnea, those types of things, right? But to bring us back into what's happening, right? Your body goes through stages. We have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and 4. 3 and 4 is kind of mixed as your deep sleep. Now we're going to spend the majority of our time in stage 1 and stage 2. And these parts are important, so don't disregard them. Later on in your sleep, you'll actually have things called sleep spindles that come into stage 2 that are required for movement and memory and things like that. So really helpful for athletes and things like that. But you'll go through this ballet of stages. You'll go from 1 all the way down to 4. You'll get in your REM sleep and you'll bounce back up. Now, in this 8-hour period of sleep, you have your first 4 hours. Now, in those first 4 hours, you're going to be hitting more of your deep stage sleep, right? So your cycles of deep stages are going to be longer, and it's going to shorten as you kind of progress through the latter half of the night. Now, REM sleep, that one appears much longer on the other half of that night. So when it's a full circle and people want that REM sleep, you're going to be getting it more towards the end of your sleep. Now, people say, well, can I just, go to bed at 1 o'clock and then wake up at 6 just to get REM sleep? You can, but look at your total sleep. Anything less than 7.5 hours, you're going to have stress impacting the body, and that's going to affect you long term. So the key to this, to be optimal, is to find your window of sleep and try to make sure that you hit that bedtime every night at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and your morning time every time at the same time.